Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope your week is going well so far. I'm waiting for the guy to come and install my new high-speed internet today. Pretty excited about that. Went to the gym this morning. Depending on what time he gets here, I might do a 2-timer today and go back and get some cardio and some abs in there. But anyhow, thought this would be a good time to do a video. Eating socially as a raw vegan. Now, what is the old crazy loner going to have to say on that subject? Well, you'll just have to wait and see. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, I do videos every day. So I'd appreciate if you'd hit that subscribe button now, click on the little bell and check send notifications so you will stay subscribed to the channel. I don't know if this will be valuable or not. I just thought I'd give you my perspective as an outsider on this, because it really actually, when people talk about it, it kind of, I can't even quite understand it. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me logically. And you know, I was like this I was like this in a certain way about drinking and whatever, even though when I used to be a drunk, I used to be kind of like, you know, if you did go to a party, and there were times where I had sober periods, and I'd go somewhere and I wasn't drinking, or people would eat. And it normally wasn't me, but it was other people. And I just never understood why anybody else cared what another human being put in their mouth, you know, food-wise. I've never paid attention to that, other than maybe seeing something that somebody's eating and making a comment out of curiosity, out of interest. I don't really care what other people are ingesting into their system. So when people make this whole big to-do about family gatherings, social gatherings, going out to restaurants, being around people, like, you know, it's like a major tragedy. Yeah, that just like kind of goes right over my head. Listen, basically, do your own thing. Eat what you want to eat. If they don't like what you're eating, it's their problem. It's their problem. It's not your problem. Why, you know, once again, I'm going to keep pounding that theme throughout this. What does it really matter to one human being what another person eats? You know, you eat your thing, I'll eat my thing. Okay, now we might get to that in a little bit. If you're being the obnoxious raw vegan at the gathering, well, then you're going to get a little bit more pushback, and then, well, you'll have to, you know, I'm not into going into gatherings and being obnoxious, so you might have to get advice from somebody else on that. You know, I don't know if I've told you before, it's only a Bachelor of Science, but I have my degree was in psychology. That and $1 will get you a bus token. If you get an undergrad degree in psychology, that's just basically extended high school, like you took more courses. So I'm going to be your shrink today. And the number one question I would ask, and it's just with the people that generally have the biggest problem with this, have this kind of mentality in different areas. Why do you have this like overwhelming desire to please people? You know, why is people pleasing so important to so many people out there? Now, I'm not being, you know, I'm not being the other way, just being, you know, aggro towards others, being rude towards others, being unkind towards others. But yeah, I mean, why do people feel the need? Why do you feel the need to please people? And let's go a step further with that. A lot of times when we're talking about these issues, you feel the need to please people that aren't even nice to you, that aren't even kind to you. Now, I'm not saying, you know, like I say, I'm not trying to present something here where you, well, I might in a minute. Let me hold on to that. I'm not trying to present something to make you aggro or to make you lash out at everybody, you know, about these type things. But, you know, at least stand your ground. At least have a backbone. Eat what you're going to eat. And if you're not going to follow any of this stuff, then just shut up and suffer in silence. You know, it's like these people that over and over and over and over talk about how the family or this person or that person or this person in the office is constantly berating them or putting them down, making fun of their food choices, giving them a hard time about their food choices. If you're not going to do something about it, people kind of get tired of others just complaining about their problems over and over and over. So, like I say, after a certain point, do what you're going to do, but suffer in silence and don't make the rest of the world have to, you know, deal with all of that. Stop apologizing for what you eat. I see so many framing it in where they're just tiptoeing through their gatherings and tiptoeing through the various people that they're around, you know, being apologizing. You know, almost kind of not necessarily come out and saying, hey, I'm sorry I'm eating this, but just like an apologetic attitude. Wow, that, like, what kind of logic is that? What kind of sense does that make? You know, I'm doing something good for myself. I'm doing something good for the planet, for the animals. You know, I'm being a healthy person, and, you know, go from there. You know, and people will come up with, there'll be people, I know which sorts of videos. I don't get hate and I don't get a whole lot of negative stuff, but I kind of know those buttons you push, and I know which videos will get just a little bit of pushback, which will get a few more thumbs down, maybe a comment or two, and excuses. Well, it's so-and-so, it's Uncle Earl, it's my sister-in-law, it's this person. Let me tell you something. I am a loner. I'm not around people a lot. Don't have a whole lot of family, but I will tell you this. You're making excuses. I don't make allowances in my life. Like, you're making allowances for people that are being unkind to you, that are being rude to you. Now, I'm not saying you have to respond in kind and be rude and unkind to them, but to me, I eliminate those type things. I'm not going to go, you're going to continuously go to a gathering where somebody's an asshole to you. Every time you go there, they berate the food you eat. And that's, you know, we're just talking about food today, but the kind of person that's going to give you that kind of major grief when you go out, they're probably doing it on a lot of different levels. They're probably that person, you know, that's just a pain in the ass to be around. I mean, I guess there are situations, and you can't just, like, and I'm not, I know I walk a fine line here. I'm not just saying, like, cut people out of your life willy-nilly for whatever, but it's not so much the food that's the issue. I'm not saying cut people out or avoid people because of they don't eat the same as you or they don't understand. I'm talking about people that are just being nasty to you in general. We'll take the subject out of it. It doesn't have to be food. Why are you going to be around someone, spending time with someone that's nasty to you, that gives you a hard time, that makes you feel bad about yourself, no matter what the subject matter is? What if it's what you wear? You know, what if you have a style like, you know, some people don't like this hair, but I walk where I walk. I mean, you know, at this age, ain't nobody gonna, you know, give me too much grief. And if they did, I'd just turn around and walk away. But it could be anything from the way you look, your appearance, you know, your race, your sexual orientation, where you're from, whatever, you know, just different groups you're around. Don't allow people to treat you how you don't deserve to be treated. We can just take the whole food out of the equation right there and just make a generality of that. And just like I thought, I'm going to have to finish up this video because I knew as soon as I started that the guy would come, so I will be back. All right. Just as I thought, I knew if I did a video, it would get the guy to come. Fast internet. So we'll pick up where we left off. I gave you kind of dealing with the non-friendly people first because I'm kind of like that. I don't like people getting in my business about things, so I thought I'd give you some survival tips there. All right, let's step into a social situation which might be a more intelligent, enlightened, friendly crowd. You know, people that are actually interested in what you're doing. And I've been to some gatherings like this. Actually, I've been a couple of times to a restaurant like with people, not a gathering, or I would have brought food. But my advice would be, if you're going to somewhere where it's people that are interested in what you do, which a lot of people do sincerely, like they ask me questions about what I eat. Now, what I would do in that situation is you take some really good food with you. Don't necessarily go next level, low fat, pristine raw vegan like you might do normally in your day-to-day life. Take something that's fun. Take something that's really tasty. Maybe, okay, if you want to stay raw, great. Take something raw for you. But I might suggest taking like something that's just plant-based, maybe that's not raw, maybe that's cooked, to share with other people, to just start kind of, you know, introducing them, like letting them know, you know, the various, like the stages or different options for a plant-based or vegan lifestyle. you know, whatever that might be. Or who knows? I mean, I've got some good raw stuff, so I would take that. But the point being is like, you know, take something that's really tasty. Take one of your best dishes. Take 2 or 3 of your best dishes, and you know, people, if the food is good, people will be interested. You know, personally, either way, and this is for me, but I socialize so little that I don't really want the socializing to be all about food when I'm there. I was like that, and I repeat myself a lot. I was like that before I even ate like this. A lot of times if I went to a social gathering, I'd come home hungry because I didn't eat or whatever, because I was there to interact with people. It was more about the people and not what we were putting into our mouths while we were there. So let's see, what else is there? Restaurants. You know, people make this thing about restaurants too. You can make the restaurants as easy or as complicated as you want to. If you want to carry your little jars and things and whatever every time you go to a restaurant, so be it. You know, everybody's got a different style on that, and I certainly, you know, don't have a problem with that. And I probably, my approach is a little bit more of the lazy approach. If I'm going out to a restaurant with a group of people, you know, to go hang out or whatever, more than likely, unless it's a restaurant that's got lots and lots and lots of options, or not lots of options, but has some good options for me, I'm probably going to eat before I go to the gathering. I'm probably going to eat, or definitely going to eat a good amount. I might not completely fill myself up, but I'm going to eat, get food on my stomach. And then a lot of times I'll go and I'll get something to drink. You know, I'll get a bottle of water, or I'll get a club soda. Club soda is when I get really jiggy and going to party that night. But, you know, you can check it ahead of time. You can eat, you know, call the restaurant, or maybe you know the restaurant, you know what you can get there. Now, for me, full disclosure, probably if I'm going out to a restaurant with friends, which I don't do very often, I'm not going to be, you know me, I'm not super focused on being raw all the time. I'm probably just going to grab something, you know. I would probably tend to go for, just right off the top of my head, that a lot of restaurants have, I'd get a salad with no dressing and a potato, or I'd go to, you know, I'd check out the salad bar. Yes, the salad bars aren't perfect and they have sulfites and this and that, but for heaven's sake, you're not going to live at the restaurant. You're going there for one meal. But yeah, you can do either way. You could either, like I say, you could take yourself a little dressing. Now, I shouldn't say I wouldn't do that. I'm going back to Pensacola this week, and there's a Ruby Tuesday, which has a big salad bar there, and I'm contemplating making myself salad dressing to take with me, and then just stopping at Ruby Tuesday and putting on the feed bag and eating pretty hard. Once again, I know a salad bar in a commercial restaurant is not your best option for you people out there that the head's about to explode right now, but we're talking, you know, we're talking once in a while. It's not, you don't have to be that person, you know, 100% all the time, or you can. That's just me. If you want to, pack up a salad dressing to take with you. But all in all, let me just finish by saying, like I say, it's more about the people. It's about the people. We eat every day. We've been eating every day since we were born. So, and we're going to eat every day until they put us in the ground. So when we go out, or when it's a social occasion, it's about having fun. It's about interacting with people. It's about enjoying the company of others, more so than it is just about this strict nourishment of ourselves. So anyhow, that's just my 2 cents worth from a very unqualified person to probably talk about social situations. But you never know. In a lot of different things in life, you can get some perspective from people on the outside. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If y'all like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Peace.